Hello, welcome to today's video. This is your introduction to the Keyboard Musicianship Book 1, and we are on pages 8 and 9 of this book. So let's go ahead and start off by looking at sharps and flats. A sharp, which we already know is that number sign placed before a note, indicates that the note is to be played one half step higher. So for example, if we have G, we will play one half step up, which is the very next key, whether it's black or white. And for this example for G, this will become G sharp. Or if we have B, this will become B sharp, and that's how these two keys work. Now for flat placed before a key, we'll lower that note one half step. So this one here will become E flat, and this one will become C flat, and etc. So take a look at all the examples of the flats and the sharps that exist. This is something that you will get to know a little bit better when we work on the chromatic chord exercise. Okay, next on page number 9, we have playing tunes which include sharp, flat, and natural signs. So go ahead and study these tunes for either the right or left hand. I would recommend using a moderate tempo, as it says there. Maybe use a metronome. I think 60 to 70 would be a good tempo marking. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is study the landmark notes of C, F, or G. Okay, some land on those landmark notes. What we mean by landmark notes is it's going to end on that note. And may be different, or it may actually start on that note. So it depends. So the first thing we want to do is, if we are comfortable with the rhythms, we can go ahead and play these notes while saying the note name. First of all, placing the first finger on the first note. Okay, remember we want to play all these slurred legato. In between slurs, we want to lift from the music or breathe to create a new slur when the new one begins. Let's start with number 1, RLE. We're going to play and say the note name. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, G, F sharp, G, A, E, A, lift. G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, 2, 3, 4, release. Very good. Make sure it's all legato within each individual slur. Now for the left hand, we're now going to place finger number 5 on F. It's in the new key. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, B flat, A, B flat, C, G, C, lift. B flat, A, G, A, B flat, 2, 3, 4, release. Very good. Number 3, My Bonnie. This one has a few more measures. Here we go. Placing your first finger on B flat. 3, 4 time. 1, 2, 3. B flat, 2, 3. E flat, 2, 3. C, F, 2. Break. E flat, D, 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 D. C, D, E flat, 2, 3. 1, 2, rest. Now notice that on measure number 5, we have, and measure number 6, we have repeated notes. Repeated notes in a slur may be an interesting thing to encounter. Usually when we have repeated notes, we want to distinguish between the 3 by having spaces or silence between each one. However, when we have repeated notes in a slur, we don't want to have those very big spaces. For example, if we were playing these 3 notes in staccato, they would sound like this. And notice that these spaces are quite distinct. Very short and detached. Next, if we were to play these non-legato, we would have an even smaller space. Nonetheless, the space is still there. Now, for the legato of repeated notes, we don't want to release the key entirely to the top, because if we do that, the sound will stop. The damper will dampen the string and stop it from vibrating. We don't want to allow the string to stop vibrating or the damper to, dampen it. So we want to release it just a little bit before the damper stops the string from vibrating. So you're going to release it just almost to the top and then repeat it again immediately. Now, although you cannot hear spaces in between these notes of silence, you can hear distinct individual notes being played multiple times. 1, 2, rest. And therefore you're able to achieve a very successful legato for repeated notes. We'll talk a little bit more about that in your lesson. Let's now go to number 4. 1, 2, 3. E, A, 2, 3. F sharp, 2, 3. B, 2, space. E, A, G sharp. Once again, playing those repeated notes. All right, let's go now to number 5. 1, 2, 3. C, B flat, A flat, A flat, G, A flat, B, F, G, A flat. 2, 3, release. And now for the number 6. Same thing, except it's in a different key. F sharp will be played with our thumb. 1, 2, 3. F sharp, E, D, D, C sharp, D, E, B, C sharp, D, 2, 3, release. Number 7. This one has a little bit more chromaticism in it. Here we go. Finger number 3 on E. 1, 2, 3. And number 8. 1, 2, 3. And so you can see those ones required a little bit more chromaticism. Please always follow the fingering when it is suggested. Alright, so work on these well and we will practice or we will perform them at your lesson.